Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Eliza and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. In the last episode, we were working on a bunch of quests, mostly in the Gamma section. We did a little bit of we did the Enchanter, finishing up the Delta quest line, and we were also looking at a little bit of the Epsilon, specifically the Quantum Entanglement Porter. Just to get that kind of out of the way. We still have to do all the Demon Steel stuff, but that stuff is, well, expensive. So between episodes, I did a lot of work. One, I organized all of this stuff. So this is all the essence, and it's relatively, organized. So you have, like, all of the vanilla ores, coal, redstone, lapis, diamonds, emeralds, iron, gold. We switch to kind of just normal metals. And all this is just kind of the metals. Then we get into like nether metals, and then tinker stuff, bronze, and then thermal, into then ender IO, which has a lot, and then yellorium. We have all of the basic essence, plus then all of like the nature and all that kind of stuff. Kind of tried to put it together with things that make sense. The magical ores, the draconium, all of the quartz, and what's the planergistic stuff, and just kind of tried to keep things together. And then we have all the mob drops right here. And then there is 5 more drawers. Now all of these have a single emerald upgrade, as well as they all have void upgrades, so there should be no problems at all. We still have this guy. I did have to kind of hook things up like this just because we have less area to work with, but we'll get that filled in today. And in fact, we have a painting machine, and I feel like I've done something with it before, but what we're going to need is facades. In order to get that, we're going to need conduit, binder. We're going to need 2 more. And I'm hoping we can duplicate this. We can. Cool. So I've also made this chest bigger for duplication stuff. So as you can see, everything is in there, including a harvester and a rancher, which we'll get to in a little bit. So one of the things that's kind of holding me back from making more of these guys, which have been running, we have almost 4 ingots of neutronium, so it's slow, but it's going. But one of the things that's been holding me back with that is the vibranium. As you see, we have a lot of the crystallized redstone. Still need to get the rest of the crystal matrix ingots, but everything else we have plenty of, except the vibranium. And for that, we're going to need experience, and that's been a little bit of a problem. See what else. I went to the mining dimension searching for cows, which I'll get to in a little bit as well. Went through a bunch of the wizard towers in there, and it's a lot of fun actually. I'll show off a little bit of them maybe, but yeah. So been dumping stuff in here. We have a bunch of septuple compressed, which is great and all, but we want to turn one of these guys into an octuple compressed cobblestone. Perfect. And now this thing is going to sit in here until we're ready for it. So let's get the conduit facade. I want to get not many. I only need 3 right now. So that's what we're going to go with. And we're going to do some just kind of cleanup stuff. And then we're going to work on quests today. So we're going to look at some stuff. I don't have everything quite ready to do what I want with. But we're getting there. So I guess let's get the crystal matrix ingots, and we'll get a few more of these. So we have like 23 of those, so we'll continue to kind of work with that. 52. Alright, cool. So everything's 52 except for we need like half a stack more of the crystal matrix ingots and a bunch of crystallized redstone, which is still working. It's just slow. So what we're going to do first thing is, I believe we have a painting machine that has burnt quartz. We want 1 piece of burnt quartz. And then we're going to want to grab some mana quartz. And this stuff will be the other 2. Now this should be pretty quick, and we're just going to clean this up for the aesthetics more than anything. And then we're going to look into a couple of things. So first things first, we need to get more XP. I don't really want to do it manually because that's not fun, but cool, looks perfect. But as you can see, there's conduits, so that is fine. So I want to get the seeds planted. I want to talk a little bit about that. We'll go into here in just a second. But one of the big things is, in order to make more of the vibranium, we're going to need more of the emeralds, soul vial with villagers, which I've been collecting them kind of regularly. And it works great, but we need more experience. I found that we have a drum of essence, but that does not work. That is not considered the XP, and while we do have a decent amount in here, I don't really want to do that manually. So what do we want? Well, we need to get a liquid XP cow. There is a very specific fluid cow that gives you liquid XP. I've been killing all the animals that spawn over here every time they spawn just to try to find some more. But we can also go into the mining dimension. So let's do that. And I can show off one of the wizard towers while we're in here, and then we're going to focus on questing more than anything today. But I've been going in here and trying to search around for some cows. In fact, if we take a look at journey map, I went north for a while. I was kind of bored and just kind of playing around in here, but didn't find anything of note. However, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of you guys. I always keep at least 2 adults, and then whatever children kind of hang around. That is kind of the plan for that. But I've been searching around. Let's see, is there an easy place that's, let's see, this direction. So let's try to generate some new terrain and just see if we can find anything. I have found some interesting cows. I've been collecting some of them just in the off chance that I ever want to use them. I don't know that we will, but you know, you never know. It's sometimes just easier. We do have the ability to spawn them in. The fluid cows specifically with the the auto spawner. But something else we could do is open some chance cubes. Not for anything in particular, but just for fun. But I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I want to be overpowered because those things are scary. They can be kind of devastating if you're not careful. So I don't really want to spend too much time searching around, but I do want to find a wizard tower that I know I haven't been to. And we'll encounter a lot more of the fluid cows just kind of in our travels. So this is zinc. I believe we want to find one that's going to be green. But here is a wizard tower. Now this is a basic one, and what I've been doing is I come up, I look in here, and I look at this. So this doesn't have the thing that I want. These are illusionary blocks, by the way. They're not real. I would search for any chests, and this is one of the smaller towers. This is kind of a boring one. Those are illusionary blocks. There's spikes underneath, and there's probably traps everywhere. You can kind of tell that they're not real because they're slightly smaller. They're about the same size as what are you? They're about the same size as blazing pyrotheum. What is it? The why am I blanking so hard? Soul sand. They're about the same height as soul sand. So kerosene. None of you guys are really exciting or anything. Glue. Silver. But yeah, so ooh, what are you? Nutrient distillation. I'll take you. Molten osmium. A lot of the metals doesn't really matter to me, because we can get the metals pretty easily. Constantan, nickel. All right, so here is another tower. This one is slightly bigger. but you can see that there is an arrow trap. There's, you know, enchanting tables and stuff like that. This one does have a treasure chest. And I've been taking the unknown dimlets, but that's about it. Anything at the top? Nothing that I care about. And this one does have a basement. Another arrow trap with a sword in it. But, haha. So I found that some of these guys have basements with these clay golems. And the clay golems are not really much of anything. They're just giant golems that drop clay. They're interesting enough, I guess. But I found one of those and I was hoping to find another one. So we did. But yeah, there's all different types of towers. This is a bigger one. This one has more traps. More interesting just in general. There is a bunch of treasure. But you have to break those blocks. So if you don't break those blocks, when you try to break a block, it just completely comes back immediately. What those are anti-builders, and I've kind of figured out where pretty much all of them are. That's what I want to get into. If we break all of the anti-builders, we should be able to get in here and look at these. So what I want to look for is not any of those. Alright, and then there is going to be there's a lot of treasure in this. There is typically a thing in here, and then this daylight sensor, which doesn't let you once you can break the daylight sensor, you can open up another door like so. But yeah, there's a lot of things in here. There's multiple daylight sensors. There's multiple anti-builders, or whatever they're called. So I still can't open this one. But if I come over here out of the range, I should be able to... Is this the one that has... I should be able to get in here. Yeah, there's TNT right here as well. That's because of a trap. And so... just get in here. You want to be careful somewhat. There's an anti-builder right there. There's another one in here, right here. And that should be all of them. So, this chest is trapped. No, there's still one more. But it's kind of fun to activate the trap. But I'm going to do it from out here. And you'll see why. So you can see where the anti-builder is. But interestingly enough, something that happens, or can happen, is if the anti-builder is active, it will actually activate the TNT multiple times, because you're actually, how do I want to say it? It's replacing the TNT as soon as it's destroyed, so it doesn't actually go away. But yeah, the thing that I look for in these, that one's slightly different, I think. Or I'm just looking at the wrong side. So let's break that. Break that. Not that, not that. There is a very specific thing that I look for on those treasures. And what it is there is a thing that says, this one's half buried. Interesting. So it's actually down there. Huh. The treasure is over here. And it looks like, yep, you can get it pretty easily. There's only one that spawned, so none of those. Alright, so let's head back to the portal. But what I look for is there is one that says drop on the ground and it becomes emeralds. And so I was finding and grabbing all of those that I could for the for the sole purpose of getting emeralds so I could turn it into EMC. Emeralds are actually really good for EMC, so that's what I was doing. Anyways, enough of that. Let's head home, and we'll stop into the one place, the last millennium. You know, I have this thing. I should probably use it. Let's go home. So what we can do is, what we're going to need to do is we're going to set up some farms eventually. So villagers go in here. Fluid cows go in here. So I will probably, I have a lot of fluid cows. All of these are fluid cows. I'll probably go through them and see which ones I want and whatnot. And kind of the plan is we're gonna come into the last millennium. So you know about this farm. I'm gonna get this farm set up completely. I'm gonna leave this probably. I'll kind of decide that later or not. But what I'll probably end up doing is making more of these wind generators, so that we can kind of cut back on the amount of pipes. What I'll probably do is put them, put one on each side between the farms, and that way there's less conduits running and all that kind of stuff, and then I can clean up the area and whatnot later. We'll get all this glowstone and all that fun stuff at some point. But I'll make all the farms, and every, like, there'll be a wind generator here, wind generator over here, and then 2 farms over, do that again. And then everything will get sent. I'll probably make more ender chests, because that makes sense. Rather than having maybe have one like here, and then, or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with the ender chest, but I'll do something with that. But then over here, what I'm going to end up doing is having something similar. I don't think I'm going to use the ender generators, but rather, again, the windmills. They're good enough. They produce passive power. I don't have to worry about them running out of ender lily seeds or anything like that. But I'm going to make a bunch of ranchers, get all of the appropriate sizes, and probably do smaller areas, probably a 3x3 or something, but then have a bunch of cows. All the cows that we want with drums in front of them, probably do multiple drums, and then the things that I'm going to need the most we'll use ender tanks for. So that's kind of the plan with that. I'm going to work on that stuff off camera because it's mostly busy work, and I'd rather do, you know, crafting on camera. So that's kind of the idea. So anyways, let's take a look at something that I noticed. So one of the quests that we have is to make an alchemical bag, but specifically it's a detection task. Well, we happen to have some alchemical bags we got from a quest reward, or like loot box, so we can complete that pretty easily. Let's take the far right today. Oh man, shouldn't have done that. So we'll take the rightmost loot as we can, and hope for the best, but unfortunately that was terrible. We need to make the Klein stars. Those are really expensive, because each one requires the previous one. So the top tier, the Omega, is 25 million EMC, whereas this is like 500,000. So it's quite a bit. I don't know what we're gonna do about that kind of stuff right now, but I need to get the farm up and running, and then once we do, we can get all this essence and convert it into whatever we want, and hopefully get a lot of good things. But the Klein stars we'll do later. By the way, I haven't really mentioned this, but this chest right here, full of kind of the things to duplicate, things that I can duplicate, eventually we will not have to worry about that once we have the transmutation table. However, this thing is expensive, requiring infinity stars, which is neutronium compressors, and it's nasty. We'll worry about that much later. So let's get out of that quest line because it's really hard and start looking at, actually not this stuff either, because we need more bedrockium in order to kind of progress, and that's 43 million EMC. So that's a lot that I don't really have access to. So we'll come back to that later. But same with Epsilon, we can't get any more things done there because Demon Steel. So let's move on to Zeta. Now we have plenty of things we can do here, and it should be pretty fine. So first things first, I know how to spell solar. We have solar panels tier 2. Alright, so we're gonna make sure we have that in there. And we are going to start working on, let's work on the solar panels first, and then we'll kind of work on all this other stuff as we go. So first things first, solar upgrades. We're gonna need all of this stuff, and let's just get rid of this for right now. So we need to make transfer rate upgrade. We need upgrades. All right, let's just look at this. Now most of the stuff we're not going to really worry about, but efficiency, low light, furnace, capacitor. Okay, there's 6 upgrades. And there's 6 there. All right. So I believe all of these require these blank upgrades. So we're going to need a mirror, which we have. And let's go ahead and make the upgrade. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make a bunch of those. Not that it really matters too much about keeping it, but we have them. So we're going to need 6 of these. And we're just basically going to make each little component as we go. So furnace upgrade requires all that. So we're going to need a furnace. Surprisingly, we don't know how to make one. So just go ahead and make one. And there's the furnace upgrade. Next we can make, let's see, capacity and transfer rate. So capacity upgrade is not too bad, although it does require a leadstone energy cell, which is a little expensive, but not really that bad. Redstone, red alloy ingot, let's make one of those. And then we're gonna actually duplicate these, because I think that'll be a good idea. Put it down here with the electrotine. Yeah, it's cool. So as you can see, I've kind of organized things. We don't need that anymore. Alright. So... oh my gosh, I'm misclicking. There's the leadstone energy cell. And there's the capacity upgrade. Alright, and then we're going to need the transfer rate upgrade, which requires 2 of these guys. And just some wood. So that's easy enough. Machine traversal. And let's make sure all of those are up. So we need low light and efficiency. So low light requires some glowstone. And then efficiency requires photovoltaic cells 1 and 2. So we don't know how to make those. We need some mirrors. Let's craft a single mirror or 2. In order to make tier 1s, we need a single piece of lapis, an induction furnace, and to make tier 2, we need 16 clay with one of the tier 1s. So not too bad. We can handle this. Let's come over here to the induction furnace. And what we're going to do is actually duplicate these. Again, everything is going to get duplicated just because it's going to be easier in the long run. Alright, so let's get like that many of that and that many of that. And these we can throw away. They don't matter. I don't really plan on using these solar panels, so it doesn't make much difference to me. But there is a crafting. We'll take the reward back. Alright, so at least that one's good. So we have photovoltaic cells 1 and 2. Now we need to make solar panels. So solar panels tier 3 requires multiple tier 2s. So let's make a good number of these. And I guess let's just get some nether stars. And that'll be how we make these. So that is more than enough. We only need 4. Now at some point, I do believe they stop. Yeah, so solar panel tier 7s. So 4, 5, 6, and 7 do not have EMC. So we're going to want enough of those until we get to tier 8s. If we can make tier 8s. I don't actually know if we can. It looks like we could. Alright, so we only need 4 tier 2s. We'll duplicate tier 3s. So tier 3 requires photovoltaic cells 3, solar panels, a machine base from RF tools, which we can craft, and then we are going to promptly duplicate, and then put in here, and then a chipset, which was gold. Alright, so I'm hoping that we already have a gold chipset. We do not. Redstone. So this might take a little bit of time, but it almost immediately made it because of how much power those crystallized redstones take. So chipset. There is the golden, and there is a solar panel tier 3. We'll take the right reward, and now solar panel tier 4s. Now this is where we're going to want a bunch of this stuff. In fact, we're going to do some calculations. And it is super late here, so calculations are going to be fun. So we'll put the tier 3 aside for right now. We'll keep 1 for sure. But if we want to get to tier 8, we're going to need 4 tier 7s, which means we need 4 tier 6, so that's 16. There is a stack. We need 4 stacks of tier 4s, right? We need a lot of this stuff. So 16, we're going to want, let's just do a full stack. So we're going to want more nether stars. And that is nowhere near enough. Because if we make a stack of 4s, we can make 16 5s, which makes 4. Yeah, we're going to need 4 stacks of them. Oh wow, this is going to be expensive on EMC. So let's open these good reward bags and see what kind of goodies we have. Nothing major. Core sample drill and tier 1 chance pendant. Now, don't we have a bunch of the core sample? We have a couple. What's the recipes for these? Oh, that's really cheap. Alright, into the chest you go. So we have 27 of them. Now, to make a tier 4, we're also going to need more gold chipsets and all that stuff. So you know what? We'll wait on this. We'll keep this stuff in here for right now. But then we'll just go ahead and delete all that stuff. Okay, so what else can we do? Well, we can start working on more of MineFactory Reloaded. So let's go ahead and do that. I need to get some sorts of EMC relatively soon. I realize I left this guy on. He is probably completely full. Yep, turn you off. So yeah, power is not really an issue right now, but we still can't really go explore any dimlets, just because of the nature of kind of how it works and all that fun stuff. But you know, we could use these alchemical bags. I have no use for them. I don't really want to use them. They're kind of cool, but meh. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, so let's see. What do we have? Sludge boiler. Sludge boiler. That is one quest. We have the planter. Lava fabricator. Planter. Lava fabricator. Deep storage unit and deep storage label. So all the stuff down here. Unfortunately, there's other things that show up, but it's fine. Micro blocks are whatever. So let's just start with that. So all of these guys require machine chassis, which I believe we have. Let's go ahead and see with the planter. What do we need? We need pistons and a Z-logic controller. So piston times 2 and a Z-logic controller, which is a zombie head, redstone, silicon, and solarium. Alright, so nothing too major there. And these have EMC, so let's get a couple of them, and then we'll store one in here. Cool. So that should be the planter. No problem. So next we'll make the sludge boiler. We're going to need 2 furnaces. We're going to need plastic, and I think all that stuff we have. So there's the sludge boiler. The deep storage unit is a little bit more complicated. We're going to need some vacuum chests, which we can duplicate. And I'm not too worried about like saving one of those, because honestly they're not expensive enough. So there's a deep storage unit. Lava fabricator. We have everything for that. And then deep storage label. We just need a slab. So planks. We'll go ahead and use the jungle. And there's the label. Cool. So that is literally a bunch of quests. Let's go ahead and claim all of these. And there's not much to say about all that. Basically, these machines do different things. So if we were keeping the sludge, we would need the sludge boiler. I don't really care about it, but I'm not going to delete it or anything. Deep storage units and the labels go together. Labels basically let you see what's in the deep storage unit, and deep storage units are basically really big drawers. They store a ton of items. I don't even remember how many. It's an insane number. Like in the millions. Lava fabricator does what it sounds like. It makes lava, and the planter plants crops. It doesn't work with agricraft, unfortunately, so that's why we have to use this guy. But you can use it to make a tree farm. If we needed that, that is something we could do. So next up is the slaughterhouse, and this is going to lead us into some other things, but slaughterhouse requires a bunch of other things. We're going to need some dark axes, and there we go. So the slaughterhouse is a little bit more important. It will kill things in front of it, but it produces pink slime. we need to collect enough pink slime to get, well, a pink slime, an actual mob. I don't know if we've gotten anything. No. So in order to do this, we basically just have to kill some mobs. Doesn't really matter what. And we'll get meat and pink slime. Now this is something we're going to want to set up eventually anyways, because meat ingots are useful. We're going to need these for making cosmic meatballs, which are required for making both catalysts, it looks like. So the Chaos Catalyst and the Infinity Catalyst. So we're going to need to set up a system eventually with this guy. We'll worry about that once we're kind of there. We can set it up with basically a mob spawner, an auto spawner, or pretty much anything we want. And something that could be cool is a draconic spawner. Summoning in fluid cows or something like that once we get to that point, and using that to make meat. It works better with passive mobs than anything else, but you can use hostile mobs. So we are going to need meat eventually, but it's not too much of a concern right now, so we're not going to continue with that quest line. So let's open our 4 good reward bags. Chance pendant. Ooh, chunk loader. Soap. Glowstone glass walls. And then grater. Music disc. So we'll put the chunk loader. Spot loaders we will destroy. Alright, so I guess let's take a look how much we have. 4.5 neutronium. Do we want to do a little bit of work with this stuff, which is what is this mod? Quantum flux. Or do we want to yeah, I think we can do the qubits and the storehouse. So we need a quantum disk, and then qubits. Alright, so the quantum disk requires a blank circuit, which is paper and silica. Do we have any silica? No. Paper, we have plenty of. What is silica again? I actually don't remember. It is sand and a block of quartz. Sand and quartz. Block of quartz. So we've had this item fabricator for a while. It is super duper slow, but it works. Now, does silica have EMC? But the blank circuits do not. So we'll keep one of the silicas. I think that'll be a smart thing to do. And let's go ahead and make just one for right now. So we'll put a silica in here. And we'll dump this stuff in here. And we have our blank circuit. Cool. So that is the quantum disk. Far right reward bag. And the storehouse. So storehouse, not storage. The storehouse requires that thing we just got and a bunch of other things. So the only thing we need is these iron casings, which just require electrosilicon, which is fairly straightforward. We even grabbed it in time. Cool. Let's make a little bit of this, because I want to store that in there. And then iron casings. We'll make those as needed, I think. What's the cubic crystals? Yeah, let's make sure we have a couple of these. I'm going to store that in here. Okay. So that makes the storehouse. So as far as I'm aware, the storehouse is another stores items. It's similar to the modular storage system, but I've never actually used it. I don't plan on using it. So yeah, let's just take our reward bag and get on with it. We have a basic and a good. That's terrible. Alright, so we're having really bad luck with the reward bags. So now we need to make qubit clusters, which are power storage, and then the imaginary time block. Now the imaginary time block is really powerful. So imaginary time, and then qubits. So the imaginary time block requires a qubit cluster 5. So keep that in mind. Now, qubit clusters 1s we can duplicate, but the rest of them we can't. But they are simply just more of the same. So let's make one of these guys. And let's go ahead and duplicate some of this. I guess we'll keep one in here. Do we not have any of these guys? No. So what do we need for that? Just more of these. And again, we're going to store these in here. And those do not have EMC, so that's good to know. Okay. Anyways, qubit clusters, level 1. We can claim that one. And we're going to want a lot of these. In fact, I'm going to save this. And I think a stack is probably enough. But now we're going to want, let's see, we're going to want, so 4 of these. So if we want one qubit cluster 5, we're going to need four 4s. Means 16 3s. A stack of 2s, I think. So we're going to need a lot of stuff. What was the thing? PRX? Logic. PRC. Okay, so we're going to want like a stack of these. We're going to want more of these guys as well. We'll want 3 stacks of these. Let's just start with that for right now. 1, 2, 3. And let's get a stack of rubies. Plus the... Yeah, that should be everything. So, we put these guys in here. We'll get 2 stacks of these. And we'll get a bunch of level 2s. Whoops, didn't mean to replace that. I meant to look at the quest book. And then level 3s. And we have half of the level 4s. So that's easy enough. So we need 2 more stacks of the level 1s. Which I saved one in here. And 1, 2. Perfect. So we're gonna need another stack. We're gonna need more rubies. So let's get the rubies. To do half a stack, because that'll make a full stack. Yeah, that should be enough for now. So let's put this in here. We're gonna want a stack and a half, and that will be enough for these guys. And then we'll just have more amplification matrix or crystals. That's fine. So there's the 2s, 3s, and there's the last 4s, and then that makes the 5. So that is all of those. Alright, in order to make the imaginary time block, we are going to need compressed Gaia, which is a lot of stuff that I don't really feel like doing today. So we're going to put this stuff away, and I think that's a good enough stopping point for today's episode. Let's get the crystal matrix ingots and just let those kind of set. I'm going to finish getting all of those, and then the next project is going to be getting another octuple compressed cobblestone. So let's see, we have 3 basics, 3 goods, and an epic. So the basics are rod and heart, viaducts, and another rod and heart. Well, that's terrible. And none of this stuff has EMC. Oh no, long range do. The long range viaducts have EMC, so that's nice. The goods, we have anti-builder builder blocks, ore processing, salt. Thanks. And what is our epic? Come on, be the good thing I want. Well, it's okay. I think we've already gotten this stuff. Do we already have... yeah, we already have 3 of these. So, not really anything that I wanted. Is a bummer, but it's fine. It'll be okay. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's episode. We got a lot of questing done, which is good. A lot of what we need to do is just kind of wait on things like this. So I am going to tell you guys what. Between episodes, I am going to work on getting, I want to get the Liquid XP cow, so I'm going to explore the mining dimension for a while. And then I'm also going to work on the farms and all that kind of fun stuff. In case you were wondering, the wind generators from Mechanism, they just require osmium, enriched alloy, basic control, and energy tablets. All of this stuff is EMCable, so it's pretty easy for us to get at this point, and we already have all this stuff kind of ready to go, so it's just a matter of getting it together. So with that, I'm going to call the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next time, we're probably going to do more of the same, more questing and whatnot, but the biggest thing is I want to get this taken care of so that I can get as much neutronium as possible so that we can make a lot more stuff. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!